All right, it is time for Dave, the interview guy. All right, I'm back. I'm live here with you tonight. Dave, the interview guy. Tonight we're going to be talking about heavy metal festivals. And I mean festivals. 3 days of head banging, mosh pit smashing, beer drinking, hot, warm, cold days. You never know what it's going to be when you go to one of these things, but you know it's a party. It's party inside, it's party out in the campgrounds, it's pre-parties in the parking lot, it's hotel after parties when the gig's over. 3 days, and one of the biggest organizations putting these things together these days, a company called Danny Wimmer Presents. Now these dudes are putting, and dudettes, are putting together some pretty big events. The newest one just announced the Sonic Temple Art Festival up in Columbus, Ohio at Mott Free Stadium. Now you might know that location because for the longest time, that's where you would go and find Rock on the Range. Well, Rock on the Range is no more. Rest in peace, a moment of silence. All right, we're done with that shit. Sonic Temple is taking its place, and it's kind of a new twist this year. And here in just a few moments, we're going to bring in Gary Spivak from Danny Wimmer Presents, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how Sonic Temple came to be, what their vision is for this thing, and why it's different from some of these other events. But if you've never heard of Danny Wimmer Presents, they do Bourbon and Beyond, the Monster Energy Rock Allegiance, the Chicago Open Air, Monster Aftershock, what else? Louder Than Life, which is huge. Welcome to Rockville, Carolina Rebellion, Fort Rock, and Northern Invasion. So these guys are no joke, and they're no slouch. They're no newcomers, right? They're here to stay, and they're here to throw a freaking party that's going to take you until at least Wednesday to recover. So let's take a moment real quick and let's hear from Danny Wimmer Presents.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's going to the party, have a real good time. Are you ready? Get up, get up!
The Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival has arrived. Mott Free Stadium, Columbus, Ohio. 3 days, May 17th through the 19th. America's #1 rock music festival is here with Foo Fighters,
There goes my hero.
System of a Down, Disturbed, Sonic Temple with Bring Me the Horizon, Ghost, Hailstorm, Lamb of God, The Cult, The Hives, The Struts, Meshuggah, The Distillers, and rare appearances by Joe Jett and Prodigy. Go to SonicTempleFestival.com for everything. The Foo Fighters, System of a Down, Disturbed, Bring Me the Horizon, Ghost, and special comedy tent headliners, Andrew Dice Clay, Henry Rollins, and more. Go to SonicTempleFestival.com. See ya at the temple.
All right, well, there's just not much more I can add to an event sounder like that, so I'm not even going to try. All right, so I previously recorded the interview with Gary Spivak, who is in charge of getting these bands together for events like this for Danny Wimmer Presents. He's one of their senior executives, so let's jump right into that interview. All right, everyone, welcome back. I've been promoting this interview now for several weeks, and here we are. If you've never heard of Danny Wimmer Presents, then you clearly have never been to a rock festival of any sort. For any of those of you around Ohio that's been to Rock on the Range or any festival of that size, well, guess what? That no longer exists, but a new one does. And this one is just as exciting, just as big. And the person that put all this together is on the phone with us, Gary Spivak, who has the title of Head of Festival Talent at Danny Wimmer Presents. Gary, thanks for taking the time to spend with us, buddy.
Anytime. Anybody who waves the rock and roll flag like we do is welcome to talk to at any time.
Right on. So, tell us a little bit the title of Head of Festival Talent. What does that mean for you day to day?
Well, I'm part of the executive team here and in charge of, along with Danny Wimmer and our team, because it takes a village to put these things on, of getting the right bands and the right talent spread across all the stages for the whole entire weekend.
Right on. So, we know that Rock on the Range had a great run in Columbus, Ohio, and now we're going to replace that with Sonic Temple Festival. Tell us a little bit about that vision for Sonic Temple? What if people are veterans of Rock on the Range, they're going to the same location, the Map-Free Stadium. Tell us a little bit about what they're going to expect from Sonic Temple and this year's inaugural event.
Yeah, look, it's the same venue. It's the same weekend, but it is a new festival. Sonic Temple, we're able to cast a wider net. We're able to evolve rock and roll into the next 10 years and beyond. And you could see that with the music that and the bands that will be playing Sonic Temple, such as Foo Fighters and System of a Down. And then if you go down the line and see something like Tom Morello and his new project, or Pussy Riot, and then a host of bands from across the pond, new discovery bands such as Basement and Movements and Boston Manor and Don Broco, to name just a few. And then in addition to big rock bands like Disturbed and Hailstorm and Lamb of God, Bring Me the Horizon, Ghost, of course, Architects, Killswitch Engage. I can go on and on and on, and I am. But you can just tell that we're not one thing. Rock and roll's never been about one lane for us. And it started out that way, but now we've been able to evolve. And again, to have a band like the Foo Fighters, and then have a band like System of a Down, and all those bands in the middle and to the left and to the right of those, you could see that how big and massive the rock and roll plate can be.
And you're right. It's amazing. Having been to a lot of the other events that you guys put on, this certainly does seem to spread out. I mean, you've got, like you said, the Avatar coming in and Bad Wolves and some of these bands that are, last year have really broken through, Fever 333, and then you're putting them in, with comedy people like Andrew Dice Clay and Pauly Shore and Hailstorm. I mean, you are talking about an event, not just going to a concert and hanging out. You're talking about, hey, what's next? What can I see? I better have my schedule in my pocket because I need to get from one stage to another, or get from one tent to another, and there's other things to do, right? I mean, we're not talking about just music. There are different types of vendors and other things going on up there, correct?
Yeah. No, and it's funny. I didn't even bring up the fact that we have Andrew Dice Clay, the Dice Man, who we've wanted to get for a decade to an event of ours, and we got him, and Pauly Shore, and then have a spoken word part of the comedy tent with Henry Rollins and other acts. I mean, that's breakthrough in itself. So, look, we're just gonna when you park your car and you walk through the gates of Mapfre Stadium, you're just gonna see and feel and hear just freshness and vibrancy and urgency. It is sense overload, and we kind of want it that way. And it will be a lot to handle, which is a great thing. You won't be bored at Sonic Temple. That I guarantee.
Even in the past, outside the venue, overnight, you have the camping, and that campground out there is a party in and of itself. When the concerts end inside, as you head out to the campground, there's a whole new vibe out there. I mean, I've seen some of these bands come out there and do acoustic sets, underneath somebody's awning of an RV with a Budweiser in their hand and just chill out and hang out. I mean, the experience in and of itself doesn't stop inside the stadium. Is that something that you guys plan, or does it just happen?
Well, it's important for us to supply the rock fan with the best rock music possible, but also to what we call secondary entertainment, like you said. It's one thing just to plop up a couple stages and give you stale beer and corn dogs and churros. Those days for us are over. So yes, we have a vendor village, and we have a sponsor village, and we have craft beer, and we have much better food. And like you said, the camping experience, I have been over there, and it is it's another festival almost to in itself. So it's just it's sensory overload, and that's the way we want it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I know that in Cincinnati, just in the time that this event has been announced, it has certainly come out far and wide that the event is already selling hard. The tickets are almost sold out. And, can you speak a little bit to that? Or did you expect the ticket sales to just jump off like they have? Or did you think, wow, it's a new event, I wonder what it's going to be like? Did you have any expectations?
No, we're very humble about that. Yes, it's a new event, so there is an education process, and we will leave no stone unturned because we want to make sure, whether you're in the Ohio Valley, whether you're in Boise, Idaho, that that Sonic Temple is the American rock destination music festival. So it's doing great. and it's going to be a huge weekend, but we're not resting until every ticket is sold and that place is packed and ready to rock.
For those of you just joining in, we're speaking with Gary Spivak, who is the head of festival talent at Danny Wimmer Presents, and Gary has been in charge of getting together this new Sonic Temple Festival in Columbus, Ohio, coming up in May. Last couple of questions before we let you go, Gary. Tell us a little bit about, you spoke to a little bit earlier that it takes a village, but how far in advance? So how long ago did you guys know that Sonic Temple was kind of a thing or might be a thing, and did you have to start working on these events?
Well, yeah, this is, to put on an event such as Sonic Temple, it's a 364-day siege. It's 24/7. And we start the process extremely early on, and it does take a village, minus the festival talent department. We have a marketing department, we have a sponsorship department, we have a merch department, we have what's called site operations to make sure the site is all ready to go with the proper amount of bathrooms and the right fencing and the right vendor villages, so the concessions, so there's enough people to handle the flow of people in and parking, and so we literally build a city. So it's a year-long siege.
And then tell us a little bit about, once this event's going on, you guys have worked your asses off trying to get this thing to be the event that you want it to be, but when the day comes, and clearly you're working to keep things flowing and whatever, dealing with whatever, but do you guys get to have a chance to just have some fun and enjoy this thing too, or is it all work?
Well, it's a job, and it is work, and it's our job to entertain. So we're not sitting around, taking shots at 2 o'clock, because we have work to do to make sure the festival is well run and the best it can be. But yeah, we're fans. First and foremost, we're fans, and is part of my personal job to see as much music as possible. So I'm out there, I'm smelling it, I'm feeling it. I'm with you, because again, at the bottom line is we're fans, just like everybody listening and hearing this interview.
So before we let you go, tell us any kind of URLs. Where can people find out more info? How long before you think tickets might be sold out? I know you want to be humble about it, but it looks like to me from the outside looking in that your ticket sales have different tiers to them based on when they go on sale. And it looks like we're already blowing through the various tiers, and they haven't been on sale very long.
No, tickets went on sale, last week, but and it's doing great. And I implore everybody, it makes a great Christmas gift, great Hanukkah gift, great end of the year gift, to get them now, because I don't want you to be losing out here come, as we enter 2019.
So for those of you that don't know, check out sonictemplefestival.com. If you want more information about Danny Wimmer Presents and what they kind of do, check out full spell, DannyWimmerPresents.com. And Gary, hey buddy, thanks for taking the time with us. I look forward to seeing you in May, and thanks for keeping the rock flag flying.
Hey, you too, man. We're out here. We're nothing without guys like you and everybody listening. It's all about making sure the rock fans know that we care, and we're going to give you the best weekend possible. And I'll see you at Sonic Temple in May.
Well, there you go. Sonic Temple Art Music Festival, Mott Free Stadium, Columbus, Ohio, May 2019. Tickets are going on sale fast, and I personally would expect them to be gone by January at the very latest. The old event that used to be there, Rock on the Range, used to always sell out months in advance. I don't imagine this one's going to be different, but stay tuned to this show, Dave the Interview Guy, and pay attention to my Twitter at DTIGCincy, CINCY. Just look it up, Dave the IT Guy, on Twitter, because if you know who some of my guests are, or if you know some of the comments that we've made, you might just be the winner of 2 general admission tickets to this event, free on me. So stay tuned, check back often. We're going to be interviewing some of the other talent over the next weeks. Some of the bands, Andrew Dice Clay, and many others. Appreciate you tuning in. I am Dave the Interview Guy. Until next time, keep the rock flags flying, and we'll see you in Columbus in May 2019.